You see this rock? This rock is something very special to me because I actually picked this rock when I was in Rockaway back in December. It was my first time going out there after the Hurricane Sandy had occurred. And I remember when I picked this up, one of the things that really hit home for me was how far this rock have traveled since that horrible day. How did it get from its original location to where when I found it, which was on the beach. I was at beach 109th Street, and I had the opportunity to see that just the devastation of Sandy and how there was no boardwalk and how sand dunes were everywhere, and it just looked so different than what we know Rockaway to be. And when I found this rock, I wanted to keep it because it's a symbol of not only a reminder of what took place, but also strength. Strength of a place that will rebuild. Strength of other places that were affected that will also rebuild. And I felt honored and privileged I had the opportunity to go alongside with Occupy Sandy volunteers to help out at the distribution centers to see how Rockaway has been affected. And I will tell you that being out there in person is so much different than actually seeing it on television. I don't think TV does it much justice, frankly. I think you have to go out there and see just how bad Sandy has affected that area. To see such a wide stretch of beach so divided, so dissected, so destroyed, is unbelievable to say the least. So this rock is pretty special, and it's something that I will treasure for many, many, many years to come. Last Thursday, which was January 17th, I had the opportunity to return to Rockaway, but this time, instead of going on the beach, I went to the Rockaway Action Center alongside with New York Cares. And with their volunteers, I had the opportunity to see a different side of Rockaway, to actually be involved more with the community, which was located at Beach 57th Street and Beach Channel Drive. And this is an area that we don't really hear much talk about. Usually when we see images of Rockaway, we see the beach, we see the burnt down buildings, but this area didn't have burnt down buildings and we weren't on the beach. But we had a chance to see a community of people that banded together and that continue and tirelessly help the community of Rockaway by giving out food and water and clothing and all kind of different donated items that people from everywhere give to this action center. This action center was created by a couple, a married couple to be exact, who once, like you and I, worked in corporate world or different jobs, and they decided to cash in their 401ks and create this action center because they felt the need was so great and they felt they had to do something to help their community out of this situation. And I commend them because I feel this is something that takes great courage, great strength, and perseverance. So when I went there, one of the things that I was so touched by was the community center, the outside of it. I did take a picture of it, and one of the things I noticed was the colorful mural that was painted alongside this building. From a distance, it looks like a school, but in fact, it's a community center, and come to find out, they do have after-school programs for children in the area. I was just so amazed by what I saw. When I went inside, I saw people of all different age range, teenagers, young 20-somethings, then you had middle-aged people to elders, all types of people, all nationalities, all backgrounds. I felt right at home. And once I got there, we had a brief orientation about what we were expected to do, and then I found out my assignment, and I was basically in charge of folding and hanging up the clothing to be prepared for the day ahead. And I didn't get a chance to do much because unfortunately in trying to get directions to the ladies' room, I fell and I hurt myself. So the whole day I was basically in the clinic healing a messed up arm and some bruises on my face and on my ankles. But despite that fall, I will say that the people out there were so gracious and so willing to help. It was amazing. It's something that you don't get to see always. It also felt good, as an African American woman in particular, to see my own band together and help one another. And I have to stress that because it's one of those things we don't hear about very much. And I was happy and proud to see that, to see each other helping one another. And it wasn't about, you know, titles or who's better than whom or who looked the best or not. It was a matter of, you know what, we're a community, we stand together, and we're here to help. And so although I fell and I wasn't able to participate as I would like to have to, I had the opportunity to shake the hands of both this couple and tell them how appreciative and how humbled I am to be there to experience this. And I'm still look forward to coming back out there and helping out as much as I can. So even though this happened this one time, I will be back. And that's something that I remember blogging about in December when I first went out this Rockaway, that I will be back. And I'm a woman of my word. So just like in December, now here in January, I will return to Rockaway. I will return to Staten Island. I will go to Coney Island and return to Red Hook and continue to help the people out there who are affected by Sandy, because I strongly believe that in unity there's strength, and in order for everyone to be able to come together and help our fellow neighbors, it makes a great difference. And we have to continue to talk about this and have to continue to help them, because it's not going to go away overnight. It takes us to come together and help. So I'm very thankful that I had this opportunity, and I assure you that I will be back. Just like this rock in my hand, as strong and as hard as it is, you know, when you're dealing with a storm such as Sandy, it becomes very light. Just goes to show that none of us are exempt. Just like this storm moved this rock from shoreline to shoreline, it moved us from community to community. And you know what? This rock survived. And just like us as a community, we will survive too.